So I had some bits of money again. Zile tu mesef kidogo, I was able to go to Mombasa. Now I can't leave the country. Kinda stayed there for 2-3 weeks. Before I left, I'm still working on Kidato. Then I applied to IC.
Yeah.
I saw the application came. I had applied in February. I was rejected. Just to let you know, I've applied to a Combinator 6 times in the last 6 years of my life, and I've been rejected 4 times.
What? Doesn't matter whether you know the founder or not.
By the way, I remember I have not talked to them
in that period of time
since 2012, so 8 years. So some of those connections died.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, there's a Twitter conversations here and there randomly.
So you're applying for funds.
So what to join YC.
Oh, okay. Yes, I get.
So I apply. I'm a little out. Then I get a call for an interview, and now I know.
Ukondani.
Yes, that was one of those moments I knew. So December 1st is when I got in. And so now at that point we raised $125,000.
Yep.
12 million. And I knew, man, I gotta make this now work even better than I was gonna make it work before that, but I knew I had a chance to make it work even better. And that was the beginning of now.
COVID millionaire.
Legit. Legit. So that was pretty self-defining. I mean, that was a pretty the moment itself.
So joining YC is what gave you now this funds?
No, YC is how Y Combinator works is that Y Combinator is not a school, it's not a university. It's a seed fund.
Yes.
You come in, you apply. Almost 20 to 30,000 people around that number apply every time, and it's done twice a year. They only take 1.5%
of the business.
Or 1.5% of the applicants.
Okay, I get it.
Which makes it harder.
Yes.
Than entering Harvard or Stanford.
So you are one of the 1.5%.
Yeah. So I personally knew that the chances of me getting in was 1.5 or less.
Yeah.
There's a whole story there that I can't tell today because I want to tell that story in the future. If I get to live long enough or have that worked out. But I went up on Twitter and DM'd everybody who had mentioned they had been in YC that I could find that said were available for an interview to mock interview me.
No way.
Last year, December. Before December, November. Because my interview was on 1st December.
Yeah.
So I DM'd people on Twitter. Please, can you have 15 minutes? Please, can you get me 15 minutes? Some people responded and said, yeah. And then we did a Zoom call. Then I pitched to them, then told mistake here. I don't understand this, I don't understand. Then I did another one,
Aye, Sam.
Then I did exactly what I did with James. I DM'd the founder. And he said yes. And he also, now he had already left, right? Resigned. He also took time, 15 minutes to listen. It's like, sounds good. Not 15 minutes, about half an hour. Give me tips, advice, Nini. Because you only get in by
one chance. You got that pitch
on one chance. That's that pitch on chance.
So now you went and did the pitch and you got in.
Wow, it was hard. 10 minutes. It was 10 crazy minutes. I am so proud of that moment and so proud of the next moment that happened because I feel like I did put all my effort. For once, I was able to say I have put all my effort in something. And then we get funded. So now we raise. So Y Combinator will give you between 125 to 100. Before they'll give 150, but since the batch is remote now, they give you 125 for 7% of your business. So I happily gave away 7% of my business, and they gave us $125,000. We had 3 months to learn, work hard, and pitch to investors. Close to 100 days.
So now they would provide you, they would bring the investors to the table?
Every week, Y Combinator works like this. You have a session twice a week, and every second you have a guest speaker. And so they bring all the alumni of YC to come and speak to you guys and train you. And most of the things I learned were just be humble. Be humble when you're building a business. Keep your head down, work hard, and that's what we're trying to do. But then it was a really good experience. I think it's one of the other best experiences of my life, being with such smart people. It changed my worldview again completely of how people dream.
Yeah.
I mean, like, while we're in the batch, Airbnb goes public. I think they did go public when we were in the batch. I'm not so sure. They went public this year. DoorDash, I think.
Yep.
While we're and they are the same guest speakers coming to talk to us every other week. And so it was so powerful learning and having my partner was Tim Brady. He was the first employee at Yahoo, so he's the one who was like my direct mentor. And just having people like him just invest in your life, listen to you, advise you, it was just a very good experience.
So now you get the opportunity after 3 months again to...
After 3 months, where Combinator has something they call Demo Day. They bring in thousands of investors and you have 60 seconds to pitch.
Literally 60 seconds.
60 seconds. So we had 300 and something companies, each had a 60 seconds. So you had to wait, I think I was number 125, so I had to wait for quite a number of hours, including breaks. I think I pitched around 1 in the morning or midnight. But then I still start up until 3:30 in the morning or 4 Kenya time to watch every of my batchmates. Then there's the other founders in the batch really support each other.
Yeah.
Some of the local African founders have been the most supportive. Benji of Nailab from Tanzania, Paul from
Yes, I know Benji. He called me down to Tanzania.
They really did amazing, just walking with me through the 3 months.
Yep.
So January, February, March, pitched on that 23rd of March was when Demo Day happened.
So now how soon do you know after Demo Day?
Immediately investors start reaching out to you. The YC has built a way of investors reaching
so
to you.
So now you started just seeing one investor reaches out, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. So combined, I had combined plus my introductions to my friends, I had over 70 investors on my list of who I wanted to talk to me. So which I talked to all of them. At least half of them rejected. There's rejection.
Yep.
So initially a lot of people are like, and then you find people who understand what you're doing. They say yes. Now I say yes. Because there's a way investors operate.
Yep, I get it.
There's 4 more of them. And so, I mean, some of our, we had some really good investors come in early. Founders who just, like 2 of them just turned their company around to be a unicorn. So just about a month ago now.
And the investors with you?
Yeah. And by then they had, so they had come in March and by April their company became a unicorn. So
oh my God.
It's really nice to talk to them. And they've also built something similar to ours.
So can I ask how much you own now of the business? I want to see what it means in terms of
maybe what I can do, what I can give you is a way to think about a seed round. And it's already written in public. When you get diluted on a seed round, you should get diluted below 20%. You should retain over 80% of your business. So maybe if your co-founders, you each have 40, or if whatever these visions, you must leave like if take 100%, take 10% or 15%, put it for your employees, which is what we're doing.
Yep.
And then there's a remaining amount of shareholding, then decide how to divide it among yourselves as founders.
Yep.
At a seed round, you should only total dilution for the whole 100% should not be more than 20%. Ideally 15%.
Okay.
So you find that a business that's doing very well at a seed round can be given up to $5 million. Like we were given a lot more money than we needed.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we said no.
You said no?
Yes. To slightly like over $1 million around there.
Yeah.
We couldn't take that. Like, I'm sorry, my round is full. I can't take any more money. So what you see is exactly, it's the amount I took.
Yep.
Not exactly, but it's the amount I took that I accepted. And then there's what I said no to. Because if you take more money, it means you sell more of your company.
Yep,
now.
I get it.
But I just need enough money to move me from A to B, which is where now, from now where we are to where we are going. Is this money enough? So
you work out
so you do the calculations,
growth, and all of these other things.
When the money runs out at this point,
the business
should be at this point. But if I take too much money and then at this point I still hit it, then this money is useless because I sold my company for this money, but I don't need it.
Yep.
So so coming from a place where you don't say no to money to a place where you can say no to $1 million in COVID time is also very powerful.
It is,
right?
It is.
And these are lessons that we just learned.
So we've talked about. So I'm just asking.
So if you
how much did you raise then?
So if you ever see a company that has raised $5 million on a seed round, you should worry because you're like, wow, you must have given up a lot of your company.
Yep.
But $2 million, do people think, oh man, maybe you should have done 2 million?
Yeah,
What
but
for? I mean, when somebody did 500, Airbnb did 600. I think they did 600 on their first seed round. These guys who just went, became an unicorn, as soon as I raised, the CEO was like, wow, this is good, Sam, because I raised 1.1. He raised even less money.
Yeah.
So don't think about the amount of money as a point of success. It's exactly what you do with that money.
Yep.
Yes. So
this is injection for you to get the company to where it's supposed to be, making money
Just the
returns,
next
or
level.
just where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
And you are the one
there
who
are so
defines
many
what that
steps.
next level
Yes.
is. I
so
get
you
it.
choose your next level and you just take the exact amount of money you need to move from one point to the next. Don't take any more.
Can I ask for you what the next level looks like?
So next level is...
Okay, in fact, let me first help somebody who may not understand what we're talking about. What is Kidato? In fact, what are the name?
Okay. So I am seated like this. We have Swap Kitabu, and I want to turn this into an education platform. And my last company was called Kuhustle. Kidato just came to my mind.
Yeah.
So I went to look for the domain. I saw kidato.co.
Yeah.
So I registered.
Kidato means?
See, high school, when you say Kidato cha kwanza, Kidato cha pili.
But what it also means... Group of schools, brother.
But also, what do you want to group of schools? No kind of Kidato.
It's a kind of Kidato.
But it also means Kidato.
So funny.
Kidato kwa Kidato means step by step.
Okay.
So I took it for the second meaning. And then I was like, people will make a joke about Kidato. I was like, you know what? We'll build a brand that they'll respect. I was like, we did Kuhustle, people loved about it. They laughed and then they loved it at some point.
I get it.
And then they still actually appreciate it a lot. We're going to do Kidato and we're going to do this better.
Okay, so now what is Kidato as a school?
Kidato we're building an online school. Our idea is to replace brick and mortar schools. We want kids to study from home. We want you to wake up, to stop waking your kids up at 5 o'clock and let the kids wake up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're not tired. You want them to go switch on their laptops, put on their headphones, talk to the teacher, have class for 45 minutes, get 15 minutes break, 4 or 5 classes a day, their day ends and they have retained more. Now, for us to be able to do this effectively, we have classes of 1 teacher to 5 students only. We know that the ratio of teacher to student matters a lot on retention. That's number 1. The reason we're doing a small class is because we want these students to learn better, retain more. The primary reason for going to school is academics. And then you have socialization.
Yep.
And then you have something, daycare. So sometimes parents will take kids somewhere so that they go do other things.
Yep.
And so we try to cover those 2 aspects. The other one is you're staying at home is automatic. Kids is at home. We try to take care of the first 2, academic and socialization. Small class sizes and extracurricular activities organized in different groupings of students as we are growing. So we're an online school. We're teaching currently the British National Curriculum as private students as we're getting accredited. And also we offer extracurriculum. We offer
things like when you're talking about
school classes.
Yeah, I was going to ask things like chess, things like coding,
art, fun classes, island hopping, interest-based activities that we know our kids are interested in, but we don't know where to find them. And so the platform will enable you as a parent to decide, I want my kid to study from home. I'm getting the best of homeschooling and the best of regular schooling in a single platform.
I get it.
So I'm spending more time with my kids and I'm paying less for higher quality education. Okay? And my kids has classmates they can talk to and play with and organize trips with every other weekend. Okay? And at the same time, we can live anywhere. We can move from where we are and live in Mombasa next to the beach, and my kid is still in school and I'm still working remotely as my job requires me.
This thing is crazy. So we're not talking about you just only have Kenyan students.
No. We have students from the US, Canada, UK, we have UK, we have Dubai, we have Switzerland, Tanzania, Malawi.
That's crazy.
Yes. So parents don't have to be stuck in a single place because shule ndio ile. No, that flexibility. That surprised me a lot when a parent told me, Sam, I don't have to pay the same rent I've been paying. Not only am I paying less for better education in an international school, we can move now to our house. Which you couldn't live there because it's too far from the school.
Yep.
And now
there's a direct relationship between where a kid goes to school and where you live.
Another mother who is a single mom with 1 child is like, now I can travel with my child as I go for different jobs anywhere in Africa because he's in class with me. As long as he has a computer and internet, he's in class.
That's
so
powerful.
She can take a better job and doesn't have to worry about leaving the child in the household for too long. And so there's all this ripple effect Kidato is having on people. Then some people are like, wow, now we can afford things we couldn't afford before yet. we still have better quality education. I can finish paying the mortgage faster. So there's a ripple effect on one.
Now I know where to teach, where my daughter can go. So even if you're in the brick and mortar school, you can still be like, listen, I know now where my kids can learn coding.
Yes, and also, like you're seeing kids who've been bullied who are quiet becoming more vocal on Kidato because now there's no bullying. The teacher can see all 5 of you. So you can't miss class for a minute that you disconnected. Your parent is going to get called.
Yeah.
And so kids have such high discipline. They're there throughout the class, and when they disconnect, they come back. There's a way to discipline kids. Like if a kid is falling behind or is being mischievous in class, there's a breakout room, and the teacher just attends to that one kid and finds out what the problem is, because indiscipline comes from different reasons.
Yeah.
You know, and then they bring them back to classroom. And it's done in such a smooth way that the other kids don't think that one was being punished. They say, oh, by the way, Richard, I need to have a breakout session with you so we can catch up on some things. And then you go for a breakout with the teacher and then come back after 15 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. And so there's a discipline way we are doing with the kids, even in those after school classes. It's so powerful when you watch it. Kids are more confident, they're more vocal, they're being allowed to ask why, they're being allowed to engage with the teachers. They're making friends. I've just discovered some 10 years old in our school are forming reading and revision groups where they connect through Google Hangouts.
That's insane. This is insane, man.
You know, I walk up to my son and is like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be in class. And I'm like, yeah, me and my friend are just doing homework together. You know, we're doing biographies for each other. So they're 10-year-olds, right? I mean, so I'm seeing that all those ripple effect, and I'm loving it. When I look at my 7-year-old getting the class in attention, in order, and another kid, when I'm walking by, I'm seeing another kid helping the classroom navigate through something like a video they were watching and explain something. So I'm feeling this there's a movement that's happening right there, even without us. We just created a place, and parents are taking advantage of the place and their kids to just learn more and make it better. So I could say like Kidato is now owned by a lot of parents and students because they're the ones driving what is required. It's not.
And do you have a principal and things like that?
Yeah, I have a head of academy. I have all these, I have structures in place. We have close to 30 teachers who are getting both opportunities for school and after school. And now we're just doing it as a private school right now, private students, like tuitioning. But in the next couple of months, we should be able to launch properly and now, teach different curriculums.
And how many students are we talking about right now?
I think as yesterday we hit 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah, plus 1,000 students, 1,000 registered students.
Okay.
Most of them taking after school classes.
What? But still 1,000. Yeah. Dude, just the picture in a normal school what 1,000 kids look like.
Yeah, average schools don't have more than 600 students. But again, all these thousands are not in the curriculum.
I get what you mean. Yes, they're in the codings and the chess and all of these other things. So those must be popular. What?
I'm looking at 40,000 in the next 3 years.
What?
Yes, that's my target. 40,000 in 36 months.
Okay,
so pray for me.
Dude, let me first, even before I pray for you, man, let me ask you a question. So as a teacher, can you come onto the platform and how can I?
There's a very stringent hiring process. Okay,
but how? Let's say I want to teach how to make lemon tea.
Come, you just go through the interviews. Come teach what you're expert in. We'll interview you. We'll confirm that everything we need from you that is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, our highest priority. Our highest priority is to protect the kids. Every single classroom is recorded and stored for a period of time for review.
I get.
In case there are any issues.
Yeah.
That's a kind of visibility you don't have as a parent today in the classroom.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you call us and say, hey, we'd like to watch what our kids studied this week, we can send you all the videos, every single classroom. Send you a link, watch everything. That is something a brick and mortar school can do. So you never know whether the teacher is there or not there. And then we have stats. When the teacher gets into classroom, when the student gets into the classroom, we're able to pick the stats from Zoom directly. Yeah. And can tell you what percentage of attendance there is in the classroom, both by the teacher and both by the students. Over and above that, if a student disconnects and claims that it was the internet connection, we can say no. Yeah. We know exactly why. And so we're able to address those issues very early.
Man, this is
a regular school is not able to do that because they're not techies, most of them. And they don't know what to look for some of these things.
What are some of the challenges that you needed the seed funding for? So what solutions are you trying to?
First of all, is just like the core team. How do we pay them? So now I got a super high-end software engineer joined me. We're getting 2 more guys join us soon. So how do we get to pay them? And they're very expensive. A really good software engineer could cost you upwards of $3,000 a month, all the way to $1 million a month. So how do you pay these people? So we use that money to bring in these people as consultants.
Yeah. So, and of course as teachers you're paying, but then there's all that money maybe is breaking even from what the students are paying.
So we're able to balance that out. So the worry is not there because the teachers are covered by the students. The worry is usually growth, marketing, team, all the resources you need to build a company.
Dude, I'm so glad that I got to have the conversation with you. You know, when I've had your journey, I thought that this would be the end, but this feels like the beginning.
It's probably the beginning because you cannot say we are successful, okay? We just raised capital from investors. And it's a great achievement to have a company, if you do your math at the top of your head, you're like, okay, so he got 1.4, that's below 15% dilution, that's 15%, what does the value of this? A lot of people are probably doing the math. But it's good to have a company that is validated by investors, including an Ivy League university, who is one of our investors, and some of the best investors in the world, whose names I can't mention, but they are big names and influential people. It's fun.
Even the experience that they come with from the learning sector,
very beautiful experience,
the connections and that they come with.
It's a tick. But the next part of our growth is to produce really high learning outcomes for kids. Is to make sure like kids who are like some Gichuru who couldn't concentrate in class too much have a place to study. If they don't seem like their attention is very good on academics, there's a way we can navigate them through passion, interest-based studies until we get it right for them. Like if your child is autistic, you can come to Kidato and you can create a classroom where they don't have to feel like they're pressured by other kids to run faster, slower than them or faster than them based on whether,
where they
are at. So we're able to do that. If your child is feeling bullied, we can always find a way. If a child is not getting along with a specific teacher, you can always switch stream with a single button to a different teacher of mathematics or science. Because we force our kids to study with the same people that they may be uncomfortable with. Yet you can't work with the same boss you're uncomfortable with. So there's a lot of things
you're thinking through.
Yeah, we're thinking through. I mean, socialization. How do we make sure kids can play soccer still, swim?
I was going to ask about that, but you're
get
answering
into sports on an online program. Are we going to build a campus in every city in Africa? Are we going to build? Are we going to partner with Nairobi's, a sports club or somebody? Like pick a sports club anywhere. A soccer sports club along Gong Road. Can we partner with them so that we just drop your kids there on a Wednesday afternoon, they continue with soccer, or drop them at this swimming pool, they continue with swimming, and yet the classes are delivered online. There's a lot of
I can see, that's what I'm saying. You guys sound like you're at the beginning of something great.
So early.
Yep.
That's why it's called a seed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a seed round because we just planted a seed. And now this money has come in to help us water, put fertilizer, take care of this tree. This money is not the end. It's just like,
there's a question there's a statement that I want to keep saying and it keeps leaving my mind. So let me say it before it goes. I hear you guys are fulfilling Uhuru's promise of giving a laptop to every student.
This is not government initiative. But I looked at why the program failed back then and what could have been done to make it better. But now when I look again, I see how I can do it myself as a private citizen. And we partnered with a company in Belgium that provides computers, that takes computers from European companies that are still new, but they are refurbs them in Nairobi, and then supplies them to us, and we give them for free to parents who join the school.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
all the connections I've made over the years, all the work with Jack Ma was very instrumental in raising money. It gave a lot of investors a lot of confidence that he's serious about, he's been validated.
Yep.
Yeah, so even it wasn't a waste. And so
in fact, everything about you, that's why I take this, I normally take CTA slow. It's because I want to hear every aspect of the journey, because I know it all feeds in and nothing is wasted. Okay, dude, parting shot. So hold on. So if a parent wants to join Kidato, all they have to do
is go to kidatoschool.com, fill in a form, go to whatever. It's 2 clicks to get into a class.
Okay.
It's kidatoschool.com.
Okay, that's it.
If you go to kidatoschool.com, then you can fill in a form, or you can enroll your child with 1 or 2 clicks. Point is, we wanna build the future of education. There are things I haven't talked about, like our teachers are very well paid.
Which, as you were in the beginning saying, should be something that you do.
Because I look at my mother trying to bring up 3 kids with a salary, and her impact on the community she is even today is so much. She's like a senior advisor on Kidato. From the beginning,
how cool is that?
You know, I mean, like I'd call my there and say, hey, tell me about the biggest struggles teachers face, and she'd break it down for me. They work too many hours, which means they don't have time to upskill themselves, which they can't go back to school, which means, but they also paid so little that it means that even if they had time to go back to university or college and add a new course, they'd still not be able to afford it. So this is such a big problem. So you have to make sure your teachers don't work too many hours. You have to make sure you pay them well, but at the same time, the extra hours, you open up scholarship opportunities for them to go study and do other things that they can do to become even better teachers, because a teacher is passing knowledge, and if a teacher has old knowledge, then they're teaching the wrong thing today. So allow them to have new knowledge. And so we've created it such a manner that our teachers only do work for 6 to 8 hours a day, while in a typical school, you work 10 to 12 hours. Actually, teachers work less than 8 hours, so around 6 hours at max. Now, if you wanna, and that's from morning to about 2 o'clock. 2:15 classes end.
Yep.
Sometimes they end at 3:15. So the teacher has from 4 o'clock all the way. There's no commute for them. They can join an online college. They can decide to teach cookery, another extra class, and make more money. So a teacher can have their side hustle. They can tutor on Kidato and have a side hustle tutoring on Kidato.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How are exams done? Online exams?
Our exams are done online.
Yeah.
There's a way we do it. So
there's a full system that you
can. There's a full system.
Yeah.
You know, the child usually now the camera during the exam usually is facing the paper. So the laptop is usually bent.
Yeah.
And so if there's a paper to be filled and then to be scanned and then sent back, or sometimes we do them on forms where you fill the answers with multiple choice. If you have to do, an essay or something written, you do it that way. And then usually if you have to do main exams, we register them as private students. With
I get with the different institutions,
yes. So they can do the main exams to international, and they can go to any university.
Dude, and it feels like you've been doing this for 3 years, and you've just been doing it for like officially you've just been doing this for how long now?
Kidato is 7 months old. Officially launched officially as a company. So Kidato is a Delaware incorporated. So incorporated in America.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was January of this year. So in essence, we are 3 months old as a legal entity. Yes.
I love it.
This is the 4th month.
I love it. I love it. Dude, let me just say, I'm trying. In fact, no, let me ask this. From all the different stories that you've given us about your life, what would be the lesson that you've learned from your life? Or what would be your parting shot then?
So, I mean, today was just one of those days. We chop our stories.
Yeah.
It's like catching up.
Hey, dude, now I feel like I know you.
Sharing war stories.
Can we go to Ronga?
I don't feel like this is one of those conversations where I'm trying specifically to teach something particular.
Yeah.
I like it because it's like catch up war stories. Where have you been? So my life has been so random everywhere. It shouldn't be typical of a lot of people. If you want a structured life, I know people who have very structured lives. And they do very well. I know people who never get into business and they do very well for their families. I'm just a little crazy. Okay?
Yeah,
I'm the guy who will go, maybe not a little. I'm the guy who will go around the world when I'm broke. I'm the guy who will email this person or DM this person or do this and ask for help. I'm the guy who will put my voice on Twitter and probably say the wrong thing and get trolled and get angry and then come back still and not give up on what I'm trying to teach. I have tried a lot of different things. I love my own life. I appreciate my life so far, even with the ups and downs. I don't know how to tell people there's a format. There's no format. Some people will never have to make a startup and they'll live a beautiful life. Some people will never have to be employed. They'll live a beautiful life. Like, figure out who you are. What is your name? Let's start from there. And then from there, let's figure out the rest of the stuff. Spiritually, where do you place yourself? Mentally, where do you believe that you can do the impossible or you can do something specific? Do it. Okay? There are people whose stories will not be written or not be videoed and not be recorded, and they have done amazing stuff. Like my mother. She's been 43 years, 10 years as, I think almost 10 years as a principal. In those years, reforming gangs of Ongatarongai. Drug addicts. Just making sure the drug addicts are staying in school, having a special program for them. I'm talking about Menika Rizia Made voice neza chapwa. Na vijana huko ambao she's brought them up. And so as like some people's stories are much more powerful than mine, and they will probably not see the light of day. But I'm happy to share my story and say, hey, live your life, figure out what you want, figure out what your name is, figure out what sacrifices you're willing to make to get where you're going. You know, write it down so you remember why you're doing what you're doing when things get tough and things change. And pursue the things that you want to pursue with passion. Failure and success, same side, two sides of the same coin. Uta fail ndio kuwe successful. Usisahau na hiyo story. So just keep going. So we are not successful yet, but we hope that in the next 10 years we build one of the best schools in the continent. That is my dream. I am a techie. There are educators who are now in Kidato. We can afford to hire some very good, smart people who will do research and do all of these things and drive this company. As a techie myself, I keep on driving the vision of how better can it be improved, and how well can we build a place for you as professionals in this particular space to thrive. You know, one of the things I hear from my teachers a lot, Richard, is we never knew that we could go to a school that we could give feedback directly to the CEO. Yes. Now they can say what they want and be listened to and have sessions with the head of academy and agree that this is how we're going to change this to have better impact on students, because the teachers know. Yeah.
Bro, I think first and foremost I have to tell you thank you for keeping your promise.
Oh, you're welcome.
And by that I mean thank you for getting to the point where you were ready to tell your story. First of all, the fact that you've kept your promise, for me, it's not even about you keeping your promise. It's about you spoke this. You're telling me, Richie, hold on. Let me work on something so that by the time I'm telling my story, there's something people can see, so that gives credibility to the whole of your journey. And through that, I've been inspired like crazy. I've learned. People don't understand. I do CTA for myself.
Yes.
To figure out how do I do CTA better.
Yes.
You get what I mean? Yeah. Because this is my baby as well. You get, this is my Kidato.
Yeah,
you get what I mean?
It is.
Yeah, and I love the impact that it's having on people. But first and foremost, I only put out videos that have an impact on my life first. Yeah. So thank you so much for keeping your promise. Yeah. Yani, may God bless you guys as you Kidato by Kidato, as you take it Kidato by Kidato. May you get students from places that you never even knew possible. I love the fact that when you hear about the digital infrastructure being put in place by the government and governments across Africa and the world, internet connectivity getting better, 5G launching, smartphones, all of these other things. Corona has just accelerated our acceptance to these things that are already there. Yeah. So thank you for stepping out, being innovative as usual. Yeah. And I'm sure the next time I sit with you, you'll tell me how you're doing an online swimming pool. And I'll be like, how you doing an online swimming pool? How is that happening?
Let's see how it is 4 or 5 years from now. Who knows?
So I always ask guys, can I sit with you in 10 years?
Please.
10 years is my asking. Tutapiga story 10.
Tutapiga story 10 tuone.
Uko Paris.
Tuone whatever is happening is happening.
Kwa hiyo restaurant. In Paris.
I see, because for me, I'm doing this for the next 10 years. Yep. I've chosen to do this now clearly and apply all the knowledge I've gained to do this. So expect to see more of our school online. Expect to see us more doing different kind of things. Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sam Gichuru. Go to his Twitter, follow him, go follow him on FB. This guy is very vocal there. Go to kidato.com and enroll your... Kidatoschool.com. Sorry, say it again. Go to
kidatoschool.com.
Kidatoschool.com. It's in the description. It's in the comment section. Go there and cut.